Hello everyone, thanks for watching this episode. I was giving my latest review on Digimon Fusion Appli Monsters, episode 19. This is also the Valentine's Day episode of episode 19. So I know it may sound weird Valentine was in February and it's March. The thing is like, Appli Monsters, Digimon, it's on a different schedule. Sometimes the others makes it a little confusing, and sometimes, it makes it hard to follow. And sometimes I just forget about the series in general. But I still make my reviews of it. I still like the series overall, and I really enjoyed it. So, and I don't want to disappoint my fans if wondering what's going to happen to this series, because I've dropped series before that I really liked, and I don't want to do that. If I'm going to watch and review a series, I might as well finish watching it and and give my honest opinion, and not just forget about that one show I liked and kind of forgot about. I'm doing this for you, not just for myself. Anyway, let's get started with the main story. It's Valentine's Day. Everybody's celebrating. Hey, whippy, they're celebrating about love and stuff. They even exchange gifts, which is something I really enjoyed. We get to see everybody celebrating Valentine's Day, getting ready. They're receiving gifts, The girl that Haru has a crush on, Kusha, she gives gifts to her friends, other boys. However, as people celebrating Valentine's Day, their enemies are plotting a nefarious plot. Are plotting something sinister. That's something I really enjoyed this episode. Anyway, let's get started. The main story. One of the main things. That Leviathan. They operate out of a company called L Corp. L Corp. I was up front for Leviathan, and they have this app service, but there's also another app company called Waffle OS. FO stands for operating system. It's basically the computer software that runs your cell phones, your tablet, everything digital. Because they live in the year 2046. Everything's all digital. It's completely run. Everything's run by computer systems. Very advanced stuff. That's something I consider. However, the software, everything's getting ready. It's very popular. It runs 70% of the world's systems. While L Corp runs, runs 30%. So they're the biggest competitor. And now they're gonna see that Waffle Corp is gonna is gonna launch the new updated software called Waffle 11. Waffle 11. It's gonna be their best best operating system, reducing downtime. Basically, it's going to make their systems run even harder, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. I really enjoyed how this is. This was a very good thing. However, they also get to know in the back of their mind there's Haru and Gatchmon. They're still thinking about what Timon said to them the last time. Discovered the secret, the super to ultimate fusion. Ultimate to make Appli. Remember, their whole goal is to be Leviathan, and they found out about Haru's father, Minerva, and all that stuff. And what happened, and about Leviathan, which is a very big deal. Thinking about it, it's not something that you should just give up, because their goal is to achieve new heights, because it's going to be a fight, and they need more power to beat this. However, Timon is watching them well. He's been waiting all this time for these kids to be ready to be chosen, and he showed them all the truth. Now he's going to make sure. He's going to make sure that these kids, are the hope of the future, and hopefully things will go right for them. Things get even more interesting in the story. Like, for example, Leviathan sees this as an opportunity to destroy their biggest competitor, that being Waffle SO. So they go to the Waffle Corp. Myanmar, she plants the L virus within the system. And this system is going to be simultaneously downloaded by nearly everybody in the world, by the entire world system. So they're going to use it to spread the L virus everywhere, and they do, Everybody has their tablets frozen, whole computers infected, and basically it's a total systems crash, a system-related nightmare, This is what happens in the future when everything is remote, digital, and everything is connected, Seeing how this is, everybody He doesn't know what to do. They're all in panic. Like everything is frozen up. However, our heroes realize it right away that Byramon has affected, and so they go to the main search. And they're not doing this alone. They got Ray. He know about Minervamon and what they're doing. So he found now. He's also there to stop them. Ray. He may not be friends with Haru and the others, but he can't let Leviathan succeed with his plan, especially if it means that may cost him his little brother. Seeing this, I really enjoyed how this episode was because this was all character development. So basically, they raid, the Waffle Corp, system mainframe into the digital sea. It's basically an all-out battle. I mean, it's just the four of them against hundreds upon hundreds of Byramon. They never faced this. They never faced this kind of obstacle. They are literally overwhelmed and outgunned. They have to find a way to break through. To come up with a strategy. Seeing how things are going. Haru and Shaman, they go into the main system while Irina and Okamon and Astra and Musamon, they handle them outside. Things are a little difficult for them because they don't go AppliFusion, which is still wondering why the hell didn't they do that right away. And things get even more bad as Musamon gets infected by the L virus. Remember, these guys are the ones who are responsible for spreading the virus. Like one touch, and you will be automatically infected. Basically, you automatically touch it. This is like a disease, and it's probably unstoppable. And they're right about that. Seeing how this goes, they manage to break through. Gatchmon is now Gatchmon. However, being our man, I mean, they're up against a very large army, and it's not just them. The whole world is affected with over 900 million of these viruses all over the world in everybody's systems. So many of these guys. As Byramon's affect Gatchmon with the L virus, he sinks into the digital sea like this pool of dark, poisonous waters. Like he's literally drowning. Haru, who tries to go in and save him, but as his body, remember, now he's in the digital world. His whole body is now made of data, which means he is now infected and by the L virus. He can now become infected. But he still doesn't give up. He goes into the water regardless of his own life, literally throwing everything to chance, going through and not giving up on Gatchmon, giving it everything he has. As Gatchmon keeps telling him to give up on me and just keep running, he still dives deeper, deeper, and deeper until he goes into that virus-infected water. And he keeps telling him, remember, you picked me, I am your buddy, and reminding him of the bond that they shared. The fact that they don't give up on each other proves how strong they are as partners, as buddies, as partners. And finally, as they reached each other, Timon comes to help them, saying that you finally moved my heart. Basically, this was their biggest test, seeing how strong their bond was. And Timon managed to trust them and give his power, and then they combine Timon with the Gatchmon become Globamon and ultimate AppliFusion. Finally he achieved it, and he looks badass. With the whole red gold armor, with wings, all that. He looks kind of reminds you of a superhero. He looks good. Now he has his powers increased. He's now able to access all systems and search for everything. He's not only does he single out all the Byramon, not all 900 million of them all over the world. He uses his powers and completely eradicates them all at once, all together. Even the ones that have affected Musamon, which is pretty impressive. However, it's also a great power, but it's also a time limit. It lasted for 1 minute. But that's probably just a convenience because they're new at it. Eventually, when they get stronger and stronger, they'll be more adaptive to the power, and they will be able to, use it more well, which is really good for me. I really enjoyed this. The good news is they managed to succeed and stop the virus and and save, of the system. The bad news is Leviathan got exactly what it wanted. Hey, now that Waffle OS is now shut down, and been rejected by everybody blamed for the incident. And L Corp used their software system. Now they've adopted the LSO or software or operating system, but L stands for Leviathan. So it's basically a Trojan horse, and planting something inside just to use Leviathan to control all the systems of the world. So basically, they won. They won the day. They won the fight, but they may lost the war. Because they helped give Leviathan exactly what they wanted, and without even knowing it. It's pretty intense when you think about it. I really like this episode, especially the super Appli fusion between the Gatchmon and Globalmon. I can't wait to see how it happens next. The next is gonna be a two episode. One's gonna be focused on Astra, the other one on Irina. I wonder how these two are gonna work out. Can't wait to see. Because they both came out at the same time. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. Thank you. I really enjoyed this episode a lot. Even though this was technically a bit of a Valentine episode, and this was much later than it's supposed to be. But I still love the episode. I still love the series, and I'll keep reviewing it as long as I can. I promise you. I'll keep reviewing the series until it's done. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace. See you later.